Good morning, everyone. Today's class is going to be a Yin class, and it's going to be about how to develop courage and initiative. Okay, so courage and initiative. We're all courageous. It's just that some are more courageous than others. It takes courage to get up and get to work in the morning, if you think about it. From the guy that I just watched free solo, right, that climbed this sheer bloody cliff up in the Yosemite. If you get to a chance to watch that movie, have a look, right? It's scary just watching the movie. So, you know, there's an element of courage in all of us, and we all take initiatives all the time as well. And it might be coming to a yoga class, taking the initiative to come to a yoga class, whatever it might be for you. However, we can always develop that and create more, and so that we feel more courageous in our lives and develop more initiatives to be able to make better choices. And so today's class is going to be about that. That's our intention for the class today. And what I want you to do, right, is take not just on the yoga mat, but for the rest of the day, take the class forward. So we're going to be, as I say, using a Yin Yoga practice to help us with that. And there's a number of postures that we're going to do that's going to help us. The class is going to be about the Gallbladder Meridian line, which is in Yin Yoga where the chi runs that helps us with courage and initiative. Namaste. Taking the hands down into the heart center, we're just going to center ourselves using a 3-Om mantra, bringing a nice big deep breath in. Lovely. All right, so the first posture that we're going to take is called Vanasana. And it's a really straightforward posture. It's a side body stretch. So what we want to do is we're going to take both, doesn't matter which way you do first, of course we're doing both sides. So you're going to take your feet out to one side, I've got them out to the left hand side initially, and then you're going to walk them out as far as you can. Now you might like to have the one leg over the other like this, but as long as your both buttocks and both shoulders are on the ground, that's fine. Then taking the hands up and moving them over to the same position as well. Now for me, the shoulder is really quite awkward here, so I just keep my hands down by my side like this when I do this posture. It's better, or I shouldn't say better, but you'll get more of a side body stretch if you hold them like this. So I'll attempt to do that, but it's, as I say, it's quite challenging for me. So a lot of people, obviously it isn't, they just move themselves over, have their hands over. So this is preferable. We're going to get more of a side body stretch. Just allowing yourself to fall into the posture. relaxing posture to start the class. Good. And then just gently coming out of that posture, coming into Shavasana, just taking a moment to rebound. And now walking the feet over the other way, moving the shoulders over the same way, keeping the pelvis and shoulders on the ground. And so this time I'm not going to take my foot out over, I'm just going to move it this way. As you can see, I'm still getting it, but you can see how kind of my hand floats up here. And if you're the same as that, then you can try bringing your hand down by the side like this. But we want to get that stretch mainly through the hip joint and down, well, not just mainly, but all the way through the side body, down the rib cage and into the side of the leg. So the gallbladder meridian line runs down that general area, so that's why we use a lot of side stretches in this sequence. So the gallbladder meridian line starts in the inner eye, and then it runs down to the ear, and then it runs pretty much along by the hairline up into the forehead, and then back down to the base of the skull, and then it crosses again back to the center, more or less into the center of the forehead, back down again through the neck, and then through the neck, down the shoulder, down through the rib cage, and then it kind of zigzags a little bit, crosses back, comes into the gallbladder, and then runs down through the side of the hip, all the way down what we might consider to be the ITB band, down the side onto the outer edge of the ankle, and then finishes up in the fourth toe. And it is a yang meridian line, and it's coupled with the yin, the liver meridian line. So we're going to just working with this one, with the touch on the liver. Taking a few breaths here. And just letting go, coming back into Shavasana. And then just gently moving the body around, getting a little bit of yang movement into it. A little bit more. It's very early in the morning, as I say here, so the sun's just coming up. Sattvic time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll do a talk on the three gunas and how they relate to yoga. So the next posture or shape that we're going to take is called square, and some people find this really challenging and others not so. That's the same with everything, of course. The posture is a kind of a precursor to half lotus pose. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right leg and we're just going to place it into the crease of the left, where the knee joint creases there. And as you can see, mine floating up a little bit. And if yours is way up here like this, it's just not working for you, you can bring a block or a bolster and place it here so that it's holding your knee up. But if it's way too much for you, then just place it down in front of you and have the shins in line this way. So that's pretty much it. Now, that's pretty much enough for me, right? I'm getting a lot of work here now. However, a lot of people won't be. And so if you're one of those people, then you can just come across the legs in this manner. And that there will stimulate that area a lot more. So coming down as deep as you can, let the head fall, and then just staying in the posture. For me, I'm happy just sitting here. I'm getting plenty right now. Slipping off my posture a bit. So I also find as well, if it's challenging for you, this posture, just elevating the hips up a little bit will help. So when the chi or the gallbladder meridian line the chi is running strongly through that particular meridian line, we have plenty of initiative. So we're good at decision making. We're good at making up our minds and taking a choice. And you know, I often think and say to people, you know, people that are prone to procrastination. Procrastination is a choice not to do anything. That's all it is. We are always making choices. And so some of them are hard though. Some choices are hard to make. You may, for instance, particularly if they're challenging people, if you know, as you know, if you, perhaps you've had an issue with somebody and you need to speak to them on a very deep level to correct their behavior, you feel they're hurt or something like that. That requires a lot of courage. These are the sorts of things that we're talking about in everyday life that we require courage for. And if we have good chi, then we will be able to express that courage in a way that helps not only us, but also the person that we're dealing with. But it takes courage to get to a Yin class in the morning. We are always being courageous. So try to think of yourself this way. Think of a time when you've really had to be courageous and how it worked out for you. How you felt, how wonderful you felt afterward. Just dwell on that now. All right, lovely. And then we're just going to take that leg out. Shake the legs out if you feel you need to a little bit. This bolster is getting very flat, so I'm just going to turn it around. Pump it up a little bit. I must get some new stuffing for them. Alright, taking the other side. So it's just a question of taking the other leg and placing it in the same position on the other side. And then once again allowing yourself to come to whatever posture suits you. Yin Yoga is always about you, all yoga is about you, but Yin in particular, because we don't want to try and look like anything else, anybody else. And so it's not a question of the aesthetics of the posture are not really very important. But what is important is that we're getting the functionality of the posture. And I'm certainly getting this right now. All down this leg, right into both hips actually. And so I really don't need to come any deeper than this. However, as I said, lots of people will to get more and then they just come forward into the posture. So for me, this is it. And I can just sit here now and just let the posture develop. And you know, some people say we shouldn't really use the word posture. it should be shape, but you know, I'm in such a habit of using posture as a word that just comes out, and so I apologize for people that, you know, think that way. And just letting go of that. All right, shaking the legs out a little bit now as well. Now, I did say that we would touch on that the yin counterpart of the gallbladder, and we're going to do that because it's a counter posture to what we've just done. And straddle, and so all you want to do is bring your legs out as wide as they can, and then just let yourself drop over it. And allow the legs to open up this way. Let the head fall down. Now, a lot of people, they use bolsters. My bias is not to use a lot of props in Yin Yoga, but that's me. And if you like to use lots of props, then that's fine. Do that. I've got a bolster here, and I can just lie across it. It's not quite reaching. I can bring my head like this onto the bolster and rest this way, if you wish. But as I say, right, that's not me. So you're different, and if you like it, then that's fine. And then I just allow my head to drop down, and I feel that I get more without and it's not that I'm totally adverse. So you do use them. So and we'll be the next one. Point of fact, you use the blocks, bolsters, straps, whatever you want. Just as long as you're feeling it on the inner thigh. As I say, this is actually stimulating the liver meridian line, which is the the yin counterpart to the gallbladder. So we're not really doing the pair. We're mainly concentrating on the gallbladder, but this is just the counter posture, and we're just going to enjoy this one for a little while. The three elements or tattvas of Yin Yoga is firstly, we come to a shape that suits our body, which I've done. It's very much that last part, which suits our body, not somebody else's. Doesn't need to look like anything. These are more or less kind of shapes. Then we make a commitment to stay still. So a resolve to stay still. And that's in the mind and the body, so we want to be still in the posture. And then we're going to hold this for a period of time. And as you know, in Yin Yoga, the period of time is a lot longer than it would be in other forms of yoga, to stimulate the stretch in the fascia of the connective tissue of the body. Just letting everything go now. then just gently coming out of there. Alright. Turning around, coming onto our tummies. Taking a rebound on our tummies. This is a posture called crocodile. And it's just a very gentle back bend, of course, because the tummy is just, back is just falling through a little bit. Bringing our hands so the palms are facing down and just resting the forehead on the hands. Letting everything go, letting the posture go. And then we're coming up into a tabletop, just taking a little bit of movement through the spine, if that feels good for you. Alright. Sleeping swan. So this posture is going to stimulate the fascia that surrounds the glutamus and the butt muscles, and are once again still working into the side of the leg. So I like a bolster, definitely like a bolster with this one, and you may too, or a block, whatever, or a pillow if you don't have either of those things. So all we do with this posture is just come down to it wherever you can. Now, as you can see, my butt's a little bit off the ground. And yours might get to the ground, and that's fine, whatever it is. And you can see that my leg is facing backwards. You will find that some people say, oh, you should have this, and that's actually not correct. Right? This is, unless you're really flexing in the hip, maybe, because it's creating too much stress in the knee, so we don't want that. Just let the shin go to wherever it wants to. Just wherever it likes. Now, from there, you might like to take a bolster or a block or a pillow, whatever it is that you're using, and place it underneath your buttock like this, if that suits you, and then you can just slip forward. The other thing that you can do as well, you can use another bolster, or you can use the same one, right, like this, and come down on it like this. So either of those or both, you can have two blocks, one under here and one to lie on, if you wish. Right, so I'm going to take this one. I kind of like this one. So just gently resting my buttock on there a little bit. Of course, yours comes to the ground, then you wouldn't do this. And then just allowing myself to come down into the posture. But I want our left leg to be more or less in line with the hip. So we don't, if we come across it like this, then we're moving into another posture called deer pose. And we're just wanting to also get the stretch through the front body as well, through the hip flexors. That's a bonus.
The caveats, of course, if you're finding that the body's starting to give a little bit, as it does, as this fascia stretches, then you can come deeper into the posture, then return to stillness. Or conversely, if something's not right, and you know what that means, it just doesn't feel right, then come out of the posture. Good, fabulous. Just dropping out. Lovely, beautiful posture. Such a great pose that. It's not an easy one. It's quite strong. So we're going to take the other side, but just a fabulous thing for us to do. Taking the other side, dropping the butt down, or dropping the butt down onto the bolster. And as you can see, this leg is coming out more or less straight because I want to stimulate here as well. It's not actually part of the sequence and what we're trying to achieve, and this is an energetic class. And people think, oh, you're just lying there, how can that possibly be energetic? Because they think of high intensity interval training or whatever as energetic. I mean, energetic from a chi point, from a prana perspective, chi in this instance, where the chi is being stimulated through energetically through the meridian line. That type of energy, a little bit different from what we're used to in the West. All right, and then just coming down over it and allowing the head to fall down once again. Once again, you can have a bolster and lie on a bolster. I kind of like this, so find what suits you. And I might just demonstrate that again. So once again, I can just bring myself up like this. And I may like a block still underneath it, but I find that this is enough support for me, just allowing the hip to drop down now. But I could support the butt as well. You don't have to look like anything, as I keep saying. This is it. It's your practice. This is about you. This is about developing courage in your life. Taking the initiative. Good, lovely. And just coming out of there. All right. We're going to come back onto our backs now and take Shavasana. Just lying back on our back. Okay. From here we're going to take both legs up and we're going to take our left leg and it doesn't matter, we can do the right, we do both sides anyway, so whichever side really, it doesn't matter. Right, so if I'm taking my left leg up over my right first, and then I'm going to drop both of those over to the right hand side, like that. Now once again, if you find this too strong, you can find a bolster or a pillow or a blanket, whatever, or a block, whatever you've got available to you, and place it underneath like that, like so. And then allow the posture to be like that, if you wish. So once again, twisting roots, this is what this posture is called. It's our final twist, and so I often, and lots of teachers do too, often finish a class with a twist. And there's a reason behind that, because the twist is, in any yoga practice, is considered to be a detoxification posture, or pose, or shape, and so it stimulates the kidneys and the liver, those organs. But with us, we want to still get that stretch down the side of the leg as well, and so that's why we kind of wrap the legs around like this to get to do that, so twisting roots. And it just allows the spine to come back into shape as well. So we take this very similar to what you can see if you go to a chiropractor, it's quite similar to what they do. They do this, and then they push here and they push here on the shoulder to square up the spine. Good. Bringing the legs up to the central position, coming back, just taking a rebound Shavasana. feet up once again. Now I'm going to take the right leg over the left, other side, dropping then down over to the left hand side. Just as you can see, I'm just moving the posture around, so you need to be mindful to do that so that you can find something that's going to work for you, so you get the benefit of the posture and be able to hold it for an extended period of time. So you don't want it to be too deep, right? So a lot of people come too deep because they're used to doing yang, and they might only be holding the posture for 10 seconds or a minute most. So that's not that. So we want to just, we're not pushing our edges here, we're just allowing the edge to develop. Just need to see if I could get a little bit more. Put back to stillness. As soon as I've moved, I check my mind, see whether it is. Bring it back to the breath. Bringing the feet up to the central position. Swing the hips around, take the legs out. Hands down by the side, Shavasana. Take a nice big deep breath in. And let it go. Another big deep breath in. Let go. Deep breath in. And let it all out. Now you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. Entirely up to you how long you stay here in this posture. when you're ready to come out, just come out easily. Just gently wiggle the toes and the fingers. Take a stretch if that, and a yawn too. Take the knees up, give yourself a roll, that feels good. And then slowly come around. Coming back up to a seated posture. Now, take it forward. Play it forward, as they say. Be courageous in your decisions today. So you will be faced with lots of decisions today. Take the initiative. Take the initiative. Remember, not making a decision is a decision not to make a decision. Take the initiative. Be courageous. Do one thing that scares you today. Do one thing that scares you just a little bit today, or a lot if you wish. Just challenge yourself there and see how courageous you are. Let the chi flow freely through the gallbladder Meridian line and help others. Help others with your decisions. Bringing the hands into a namaskar, we're going to take 3 Oms just to finish and seal the practice. Nice big deep breath in. Keep the prayer with the heart center. May we have love in our hearts. Bring the prayer to the lips. May we have truth in the speech. Bring the prayer to the forehead. May we have gratitude in the mind. Bring the prayer back down to the heart center and bow the head. Namaste. Thank you for doing Yin Yoga with the Phoenix. If you like what we've done, I'd love you to subscribe to the channel, spread the yoga world throughout the world, and make the world a better place. Thank you once again. Hopefully I'll see you soon.